So that's what we got going on. And I was just getting ready to go walk. Got to bring my umbrella now.
Oh boy, yeah, it's not like you have lightning during these hurricane storms. It's a lot of wind and rain.
Just wind and rain.
So you're getting a real good view of our hurricane right now. It's just a little windy. Good times. Okay, so what are we talking about today? I know we have an initial question, but Doug did a survey about what you guys wanted to talk about today. So we're
really
there, yeah.
You can still vote. It's in Team Transformers.
In the Facebook group.
And on the there's a link on the email text message I sent you.
On the broadcast. So if you haven't voted, and you want to, then go for it. Okay. So we won't go with the topic yet. So the first question is for you, where are you in your journey? Oh, good. And Lonnie has random questions. That's always helpful. And what would you like to see happen? Okay. Good. All right. So
what a loaded question.
Yeah. Where are you in your journey and what would you like to see happen? So let's put some of those in the chat. Let's call on Lonnie for some random questions.
Hi, can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Lonnie.
Okay. Hi, guys. I'm driving, so yeah. Sorry. It's like gorgeous out all of a sudden.
Yeah, it really is.
So bizarre. I was very happy when I came to my tower this morning, and it looked still standing and beautiful. Yes. But my question is about my tower. So when something gets too heavy, right? Because it's growing and it gets too heavy, does that mean it's time to prune it, or do I take the whole thing off? It looks like it's about to fall out of my tower, my bok choy.
Like it's got a long stem.
Yeah, but it's new. It's not old. Oh. Like it's not an old plant. So I'm confused by it.
What kind of plant?
Is it lettuce?
It's the bok choy. No, it's bok choy.
I would just move it down toward the bottom.
So it is towards the bottom because I learned that last time I did this. And I guess it's not falling because it's heavy, but it's still, maybe it's just falling because of all the rain we had in the wind last night, but it's like, it literally looks like it's going to come out of my tower garden.
Well, the wind might have broke it. You might want to check to make sure it didn't kind of snap the stem. Did you buy that or grow it from seedlings?
I bought it from Living Tower or whatever it's called.
So it was a seedling.
It was a seedling, yes.
Sometimes when you buy it from like Home Depot and you get all the dirt out and then you scrunch a rock wool together, it kind of makes it like that where it's floppy.
Or if it was.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, I've never done that. I've only bought from Living Seeds or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
And so, okay, I guess the general question is when it's heavy like that, do you cut off the whole thing, or do you still just cut out the outside and keep the stem going?
I've never had weight as a determination of whether it's going to keep growing. So
is there somebody who's grown something that's kind of weighty? See if we can get somebody else's answer.
Any bok choy advice? Arlene,
you've grown it before, Lonnie.
I've never had this problem.
Arlene, you have any advice?
Yeah, I'd have to see what it looks like.
The tower. It's delicious. But I've just never had this problem.
Okay, she's a little frozen, so it caught up. So she said she would want to.
We could offline.
Yeah, so I'd have to see it, but bok choy at some point gets so overgrown, like so far out that the weight will make it hang down. And
okay.
It's probably just time to start over. Have you been eating from it? How long have you had it?
Not at all. It's pretty new.
Oh.
Yeah.
Then it's probably not far down enough into the pot, the net pot.
Okay, I'll send you a picture later.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Awesome. What are the other random questions, Lonnie?
And then my other random question is about events, inviting to events. So if you have several events coming up that you're doing in 1 week or spread out into 2, do you invite the same people to the same events, or do you split the difference?
If they're in the same week,
They're in the same week, or like I have 2 events this week and an event next week. Would you pick and choose? I mean, I would normally say, okay, this seems more like for this person or whatever, but they're very like they would all fit all my people.
sometimes I like to do a collage and say, here's some of our events coming up. I can send you the specific flyer if you want, or you just make a collage with all of them. Say, hey, these are some of the events coming up. Would you like to join me on one or all of them?
Okay, that's a great idea. I don't know. I never thought of that. Thank you. Those are all my random questions.
I love it.
Thank you.
Love it. And we have superstar Nicole Fiel on here today. She had a shout out in Team Transformers because she was on the Thankful video.
Whoa!
Did you get to see that?
No.
Pretty amazing.
How'd that happen?
Yeah, how did that happen, Nicole? Dun, 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 dun. Nicole.
Oops.
Michelle was probably with her at the time. And Arlene, is that when you guys got all videotaped?
Not see the video.
Okay, don't worry about it. Anyway, you guys can check it out in Team Transformers. All right, so who's got an answer to the question, where are you in your journey? What would you like to see happen? Who can answer that question? Katie? I'm looking at Katie right now. Hi, Katie.
Hi everyone. How are you?
Morning.
Good. Where am I in my journey? I am feeling a little stuck, but it's all my own fault. Heather and I have teamed up as accountability partners, so that's been helpful. We've been encouraging each other, which is good. I really wanted to get on Rachel's weekly planning call on Sunday, and I totally forgot. So I'm putting a reminder in my phone for this week to do that. And then Nikki and I were talking this morning about how, we just need to be more consistent and start reaching out every single day to 2 people, whether it's making new connections or follow-ups or whatever it is. So that's the plan right now, because obviously we really want to continue to grow our business. But it's been a little slow going since the action game in August.
I know you were all about the action game. I think you like that working together feel.
I do. I need that accountability, and I need someone pushing me.
Maybe you should be doing the blitzes in the morning.
Yes, I should be doing those.
Okay. Thank you, Katie.
Yes.
Okay, who else would like to say where they are in their journey and what they would like to see happen?
Good. I want to add that I added in Tuesday, Thursday blitzes. Since you guys were doing Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I've got one set up on Tuesdays and Thursdays. It's 8 a.m. Central Time.
Okay.
It's really good.
So
And Janie has one at 11 Eastern. So that'd be 9 Eastern Tuesday, 11 Eastern Tuesday, and then Thursday at 9 Eastern. Besides our 8 Eastern Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Lots of opportunity. I mean, I seriously don't feel like I'm working unless I'm blitzing. Is that terrible? So
It's a good
I get
start.
so much more done if I just go on a blitz. It's amazing. Like I sent out so many messages this morning. So, however you can just make yourself sit down, set the timer, and then you'll figure out what to do. You go down your text list or whatever. So I don't want to get too far off. What do you have to say?
No, that's good. I mean, I think that you have to have some focused working time, and I think, I've been going back through Brian Tracy's goals book, as I said the other day, and just realizing little things like if you're not making a to-do list of like what are you even doing this week, So like Katie stepped away, but I'll keep using her as an example. I don't know what she's working on right now or what events, but think about it. Like if she's not sitting down and saying, okay, this week, these are the events that are happening. I'm going to focus on this event. And it's almost like going through the DMO planner. Like, who are my people I'm going to talk to? Or at least saying, I'm going to talk to, you know, two by two every single day. You know, 2 new, 2 follow-ups, 2 customers, 2 team. And my goal is to invite 40 people to the event Thursday night. And so it's like, if we're not writing things down and doing a checklist, it's just not going to happen. I mean, that's just honestly, and it's not about Katie, it's about me too.
Oh yeah.
You know,
I mean, we all feel you, Katie, because we're our own bosses. So just like they say, it's easy to eat the apple, easy to not eat the apple. Same with this business. It's easy to not do it, and then time just goes by. I mean, time's not waiting for anybody, right?
And it doesn't have to be complicated. Just make sure you have a little planning session. Make sure that you sit down and I know some people don't like desk work. They just want to kind of go with the flow. You know, if you're very engaged, like Sharon can kind of go with the flow because she's very engaged. She's always on. She's got her new Apple Watch going with Voxers probably and all kinds of stuff. So, not yet.
The Voxer does not work on here. I see notifications.
Yeah, we get notifications.
But that's not really.
So you got to plan. Just do a planning session and think about what you want. We're actually going to do a goals session on Friday during Lunch and Learn.
Yeah.
So
Doug's going to run the Lunch and
I'm
Learn
working on that.
entirely. Friday.
And we're going to do like a goal exercise. It's going to be more like, you know, what do you want? What should you be focused on? Thinking about it a little bit, just for 50 minutes.
But in the meantime, Jules asked a question in Team Transformers chat, and it's part of our DMO. We have a lot of events this week. If you are in the Voxer chat or if you've looked at the announcements, we have a number of events on Wednesday, no Lunch and Learn, a number of events on Thursday, and then I added an event Thursday night and then Saturday. So we have, what is it called? With the Got Fruits and Veggies event Thursday night that I'm going to run, and whoever wants to share their story, please let me know. And then Saturday Tower Garden, that's just for us. We're going to, open that up for the team. But there's other events also. Lots of events. There's the holiday makeover. There's the salad in a jar. There's a lot of different things that you could do. So how do you attack events? Who's really good at that? Who's really good at saying, I'm going to pick this event and I'm going to make a list and all that good stuff? I'm going to call him Sandy. I have a feeling Sandy does that.
I do make lists. You've seen my notebook before. I typically just write down whatever the event is and the date. So for me this week, I'm inviting to the salad in a jar specifically, and the Tower Garden on Saturday. So I also like that because it gives me kind of time in between. So it's a Wednesday and a Saturday event. So I just go through the list. Actually, I have a notebook that I just go through people before that I've talked to about it. And I'll just move them over and, just basically say, hey, I know that you were super excited about the Tower Garden. You weren't able to make our last event, but I'm super excited. We have a live event coming on this Saturday. Oh gosh, highlight back up.
Sorry.
So anyways, yeah, and that's what I would do with the notebook.
So when you get the flyer, what do? You save it to your phone but you mostly go by paper and pen lists. And then you read.
Yes, I mostly go by paper and pens list. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do save the image to my phone, and then I text people first and say, what I said basically. And if they say, oh yeah, I'm free, or oh yeah, I'd love to come by, or not come by, I'm sorry, tune in, then I would send them the invite. And then a few minutes before the event, usually 15, 30 minutes before the event, I'll send them a direct link and say, oh, I'm so excited to see you online in a couple of minutes. Here's an easy link to just tune in, which I think is really helpful to people.
And you just make the link yourself, right? You're not like on Zoom and then clicking and buy it and all that.
No, I just, whatever the Zoom link is, you can type it in. Like, I forget the exact words, but it's like zoom.us/J/954, blah, blah, blah. And I just copy that link and I paste it into the text. I could put a sample if you want in the chat.
You can just copy it off.
We ordered bikes to the floods.
Invite.
Wait, what?
You guys just copy it off of the invite that I send out on the team broadcast. You just delete
true.
down to the phone number or her Zoom number, and then put in the new Zoom number. But that
Exactly.
won't have a password.
Yeah, well, it's the
Oh, even better, yeah.
it's the formula that Sandy said, but yeah, you're right. You could go in there and do that. So it's basically www.zoom.us/J/ and then whatever the meeting number is. So you can always send that. And you say click on this, password is whatever. Make it easier.
Mhm.
So that was 15 minutes before you do that.
Well, Sandy, let's
Exactly.
do that for the Tower Garden event on Saturday. You invited me. I answered back and said, yeah, that sounds cool. Send me the info. And you send me the info.
Uh-huh.
And you remind me, but I don't attend. How are you going to follow up with me?
After the event, maybe the next day, I don't get them right away. But the next day I just say something like, hey, I was on the event. I was so excited that you were going to tune in. I don't know if something happened, if you were able to make it. But I'd love to either catch up with you, either maybe we have a recording. If the recording is available, I'd love to share it with you. If not, please let me know what your schedule looks like, and I'll start up like my own event for them. Because I'm comfortable doing Tower Garden too.
So you will solve the problem.
I'll try. Sometimes people say that they're interested, but they're maybe not really that interested right now. So I'll do my best to keep that conversation going. And if they say, oh, I'm too busy, or oh yeah, send me the recording, and then I send the recording and maybe check back with them the next day and they haven't watched the recording, then I would give it some time, like maybe a week, or depending on the person's progress on my list, maybe a week or two, and then check back in with them again.
But you definitely have an active list.
I definitely have multiple active lists. Yeah.
That's good. Okay, what else I was going to ask you?
And you guys know so you might be hearing her talk. And so I'm kind of an electronic guy. I love spreadsheets and all that stuff. So I'm thinking, part of me is thinking, I mean, my goodness, she's writing it down each time. I mean, couldn't she just duplicate the page in the spreadsheet and have the names already there and then check off who she sent to and all this stuff? But what the process of writing does, even Brian Tracy, again, I was listening to him, and he was saying, if you don't write it with a pen and paper, it's just not going to be in your brain. It's not going to be the same. So I think it's the process for her of saying, okay, this week we have an event. I'm going to invite people. Who am I going to invite? And now she's got like skin in the game. You know what I mean? Like she's taking the time to write it down. Whereas I could be like on Teamsy or something and say, oh, I can do my tab, or I tag people for Tower Garden, and it's like, well, that's impressive and stuff, but it's not the same as really thinking it through. So good job.
So Nicole,
Doug, I will say that I do have a whole worksheet, but that worksheet I don't use as regularly. I print that out, and it is like an overwhelming list. Like I think there's over 800 people on it.
Yeah.
But when I have activity back and forth with someone, I do update the comment section on that so that I can then later sort the order. And I don't do it every event by any means, but if somebody says, yes, they're actively interested, or like now I have a lady who told me like 2 months ago, oh, I'm moving in 3 months. When I move, I'm going to be ready to order my Tower Garden. So I have her on my list. Make sure that I check back with her December 6th, I think it is, or 16th, to see how her move went and, what's going on and if she's ready to get, growing.
I love that. Who else has questions for Sandy?
Now it's questions for
now
Sandy.
it's questions for Sandy.
Savannah has questions.
Okay, well, Nicole Field said, I am frozen. I don't even know who to add to the list. I think she's talking about invite lists. That's why sometimes that happens to me. That's why I post things like, who wants to learn how to do kombucha, whatever. So that it's kind of like pre-qualifying those people, and I don't have to waste my time as much,
Well, let me ask you this.
It's
So,
also a little...
Nicole, you can answer in the chat, but do you feel like you have less momentum right now than you did, say, several months ago?
How cute.
All right. Oh, yes, and it's my energy. Okay, yeah.
Mm.
So yeah, it all comes down to momentum, and the fact that we learned from our fanatical prospecting book that everything you're seeing happen right now is a result of like 3 months ago prospecting. So like your pipeline's not full right now. So I mean the bottom line is you're gonna have some invites, but if you haven't been working it like that, you're not gonna have as many people. Because the thing is, of course, there's people she could add to the list. We all have hundreds and hundreds, or maybe even thousands of Facebook friends. But there's some people, if I haven't talked to Katie Zitzman in like 3 years, and I've been ignoring all her posts about her family and her dog and her life and all this stuff, and all of a sudden I'm like, hey, Katie, thought of you today about this salad jar event. And she's going to be like, oh man, is this a Monet guy or something? What's going on? So it just feels kind of weird, So you
We
gotta
got
have,
one of those texts this weekend
oh yeah, from
in Messenger.
don't say
I'm
it.
not
Yeah, no,
saying
of
who.
course not. Yeah, we got the. You want to read it?
Yeah. Like you could just tell.
So,
I don't know what. I didn't even answer. I was just like,
I know I answered.
oh. I mean, I'm curious though.
Wait,
know where it
so
is?
this is a customer. It was.
Yeah, it's
You
a
sure it was
customer of
Messenger?
ours. Yeah.
Messenger?
Right there. The top
Oh yeah.
one.
Hey guys, how are you? Can I send you something I have going on? Would love to see if you want to participate. Kinda urgent. Very short video that explains. I thought of you and wanted to share. Could be good. Can I send? Well, there's a customer and somebody I've been working on for our business for a long time. So I said, sure, I'll check it out. But she hasn't sent it. So
Must not have been that urgent. That's what I'm thinking. Michelle's laughing. So Katie says that she. Wait. All right, Nicole says, I feel so many people know already that when I reach out, even if it's hi, they don't reply or are very dry. And then Katie said, that's why I love the Healthy Snacks group because I felt like I could reach out to people randomly. So that group is still happening. If you mean the Healthy Starts at Home group, that's the one where it's a salad jar party. So right now for that, let's talk about that. To me, all you do is you post a salad jar, make sure it's a good looking picture, maybe you holding it even, or I don't know, but say, hey, have you ever thought of doing this at home? Or something like that. And then if they say yes, then you say, I would love, have you join us on, Wednesday at 8:30. We have a Healthy Starts at Home group, blah, blah, blah. Or maybe they're already in there. So, I mean, momentum is a hard thing. You got to feel a little bit weird at first to get the momentum going, There's a couple of examples, like when you start pedaling a bike, the first couple of pedals, you got to push a little harder. But once you get the bike rolling, you don't have to hardly pedal at all. That's momentum, where you just got to get rolling, but you've got to be consistent so that you're talking to people and stuff.
And
And
it's
you
not
just
as
got to
fun.
do it and not think about it, as far as emotionally
yeah.
as much.
And then Nicole, those you used to have those thoughts more before, and you've changed a lot. And I think you should fight against those thoughts, of making even statements of saying that people are dry, people don't reply. I mean, those are negative thoughts, like listen, people don't reply to me and her.
Right.
People
For
don't
sure.
reply. I mean, Nalani
It's a mix.
Nalani and Karen get like the most customers. People don't reply to them, so it's like, it's okay. If whoever if you need some pumping up, maybe we need an honor chair on Nicole this session here. If she turns on her camera, we can say what we love about her, and then she'll feel better.
Okay, Jennifer, let's have you.
No.
She said no. Jennifer, let's have you share when you don't have momentum. Go ahead.
So what I find is when I'm feeling stuck, then if I look, then I haven't been really good about posting in social media and posting in a value added way. So that to me is the most important thing, because I find when I am posting consistently in a value added way, I'm not always just spamming Juice Plus, but I'm adding value to people's lives. Then when I am reaching out to people just to set up a virtual coffee date, they're a lot more open to the idea of just chatting and getting on the phone. So that's what I find. And I also realize that when I'm feeling stuck, it's because I have very much a sales mindset. What can I do to boost my business right now? And if I can shift to a service mindset, how can I love on people and how can I help solve their problems, even if it's not Juice Plus, then that helps me get out of a slump too.
I love that. So, what have you learned from Bob Heilig in a nutshell? I know that you said a lot of it just now. But
Love, serve, grow.
There you go. Love,
But-
serve, grow.
When you come from a place of love and when you're reaching out to people and not with an agenda, you can be intentional, but not necessarily have an agenda. And you genuinely just want to find out what their problems are and how you can possibly help solve those problems, whether or not that's your business or your product, then it's actually, you're always creating relationship capital at that point because you're always feeding into people. Even when they tell you no, and you then go out of your way to say, well, here's something I think you might like, has nothing to do with your product or business, but you know that they're dealing with a problem. I found this article over here and I thought of you, I thought you might enjoy it. You're going out of your way to build relationship capital. And then people are a lot more interested in talking with you even later on because you left a really good taste in their mouth, even when they said no. And I also like to make sure that my events are super, super value added, meaning anybody would love to attend the event, even if they have no interest in Juice Plus at all. Like learning how to make bars, learning how to stretch properly. And I think Salad in a Jar is a great value added event at that point.
for sure. Tell us something about the content added type of posts that you're doing, or
Value.
not added value, content value posts.
So I'm making sure that I'm always posting in one of like my main core areas, which is like health and wellness, but adventure and like adrenaline pumping stuff, right? So you'll see that I'm always posting stuff that my husband and I are doing, and I'm always posting very positively as well. And then I'm always posting, I try to post healthy recipes or like smoothie ideas and stuff like that, just so that people can say, oh, that sounds really good. I want to give that a try. Or they just start to see me as someone that has a lot of information like this. And it's surprising what happens in the phone conversation when I actually have a virtual coffee chat with them, how much they've been looking at my posts, even if they never said anything or commented. So.
Now, Bob Heilig, who you've been taking some courses and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
His podcast is called Your Virtual Upline, right? Or My Virtual Upline, something like that. And that's good. So what Jennifer's doing is she has a virtual upline and she's being teachable. The things that Jennifer's saying, I'm pretty sure all of us kind of know it, right? It's not that big of a deal. It's not groundbreaking. I mean, the words are, I love the what is it? Love, share, love, serve, grow. That makes it simple to remember. But everything that she's saying is available if you were to just really dig into like the Freedom Revolution even. The thing is, though, Jennifer has submitted herself to accountability. She's invested money. Is it just the free one, or you did some money too, right? Yeah. So you invest money. She's investing time. And so now it all of a sudden becomes more real. And I hate to say it, but for a lot of us, especially if we say, oh, we want to grow our business, but then we kind of don't, then sometimes a year goes by, we don't, 2 years goes by, we don't, because we're not really committing, being committed to the system, you know, and it's here. And there's a difference. We learned this from Eric Worre or somebody, maybe it was Grant Cardone. Are you committed? I think everybody here is
Oh,
committed,
are you
right?
interested, committed, or
Right. Are you interested? We have a lot of people interested, but you guys are committed. You're here. And we usually think of like committed as a good thing, right? But he says you got to be fully committed, fully committed. And that's how you like really blow things up.
Jennifer, do you feel like you're fully committed?
I feel like I'm there now, but it's been a lot of work on mindset. And to me, that's everything. As soon as I start to get into a slump or anything, it's so much of the mindset. And you got to really think about what red light stories that you have coming into your brain. And that's a daily practice, trying to remove those negative thoughts and try to replace them with the positive thoughts. Just like if someone's not replying to you, what is the red light story that you're making up in your head about why they're not replying?
Right.
And how could you flip it to a green light story that they legit could just be really busy and not have seen it?
And
I love that.
Jennifer, you've had she had a promotion recently, right?
She's gonna.
She's about to have a promotion.
It's in the process.
Her
It's
name
been
on the list.
submitted.
Yeah, I've seen her name on lists for customers, team, things like that. So here's the thing. It's impressive what we're hearing. So Jennifer, what are you working like 16-hour days on Juice Plus right now? How many hours a day are you putting in?
No, I probably do 3 hours if I count doing a few hour-long coffee dates. Probably
Yeah.
3 hours.
And how many people, you can raise your hand or indicate somehow, how many of you feel like Jennifer's probably getting more out of her 3 hours than you are based on what she's saying? I do.
Oh, yeah.
I do, because she's strategic. She's like, she's got vision for what she's supposed to do. She's not sitting around saying, gosh, what do I do now? It's like, okay, they said do this. I have a to-do list. I'm rocking and rolling.
Are you getting emotional about it? Are you letting emotions determine whether you do it or not, or whether you follow up or not?
I try not to, but that's part of the mindset process. And every day you have to really think about why your mind is going that way. Like, I find that Mondays are a little harder for me because sometimes I let myself not be super disciplined in the weekend. And so then sometimes it's a little harder for me to get back into it Monday, and I have to kind of think about what my mind is doing. And if I can get my mind in the right place, everything follows.
So that again is momentum, because you had a couple, I mean, I feel it too, a couple
Yep.
lazy days around the house or whatever, and then it's like, oh, now
You lose your momentum.
come on,
Yeah.
you gotta get it rolling again. Okay, I love that. Okay.
It's like having a trainer at the gym. You know, you're gonna get results if you have a trainer. You know, or if you're writing it down, logging it. I'm working with a weight loss coach, Allie Gold, and I've been logging for like 3 months, and I've seen changes. I mean, what about the
Huge.
change? I mean,
Yeah.
just the things I do. Like I went last night and I bought ice cream for her and Emma at the store. I'm not even tempted by this stuff anymore. You
It's
know,
not.
she's like potatoes all day and then ice cream. It's like I'm just gonna have kale for lunch. But if it wasn't for my accountability and the fact that I'm writing it down, everything goes into my mouth. I'm writing it down.
He's thinking about the fact that he has to write it down, or that he needs to write it down after he does it. It actually affects him.
And now she has me writing it out ahead of time, which I'm resistant to. But it's the same thing with like your DMO planner. You know, at least write down what you're doing, so you can look back at the week, like we did with the leaders on Sunday night, to say, okay, what worked last month in your business? Well, how do you even know what you did in your business? You should have a notepad, maybe a legal pad, where you do your to-dos, and you can just flip back a few days and say, oh yeah, this is what I did that day.
You guys go ahead and speak up. What are you thinking about?
Question for Doug. Do you find that the fact you have to be accountable to someone else, like you've got to tell someone what you logged, like, does that make a huge difference for you too? The fact that you have to be open and honest about what you consumed in a week?
Well, you can still lie.
Sounds like he's considered it.
Oh, I have. So you can lie and not put the extra stuff. But then it's like,
That's where the committed versus fully committed comes in,
true.
Right.
And you do
and mindset
know that
too.
committed versus fully committed, right? So, yeah, but then like you won't see the paycheck. You know, I don't see the paycheck on the scale that week.
Right. The scale is.
So you're only,
measurement,
I
too.
mean, it's life is hard, man. These things are hard. It's like you're only cheating yourself when you do it, you know. And I'll tell you what, the people that have like that are in the gym every day and have like abs, hats off to them because I mean, they're thinking about it. I didn't really realize that. I thought people that were like really fit just naturally love going to the gym. Well, now that I hang out with like a fitness coach and stuff, I realize they drag themselves out of bed. They force themselves to do things. It's just they have the discipline, the self-discipline, and they're fully committed. So,
Can I add something to that, Doug?
yeah.
Oops. Okay. Yeah. The discipline part is really when you create the habit. That's what it is. You've read the books on habits, right? That when you create, there's a book, The Power of Habits by Duhigg. And he talks about that. It looks like, oh man, that person is really disciplined. Well, no, it's just such a habit that whether you feel like it or not, you've created the habit to get up and do it.
Yeah.
Because it's the habit. So getting over the hump, creating the habit is where the discipline comes in. But those people who have abs like that and who are like Michelle,
We're all thinking it.
but it took the discipline to get there. But once you're there, it's a habit, I think, because we're creatures of habits. Yeah.
The same reason I wasn't tempted. I even picked out flavors I would like to have for the ice cream. They actually got 2 ice creams, and but because I have the habit of that's not what I want. It's not what I want for myself, but also once you're used to not having it, it's a habit, and then it's easy to say no. Yeah.
Right.
I think
I've gone so far as to smelling it years
I've
ago,
been there. Oh yeah.
and that was enough to satisfy me.
Yeah. Or to make you not want it.
That was decades ago.
BRB.
I think part of working the business is also developing that habit. You know,
Right.
Right.
Because if
thinking about
you
it.
don't feel like picking up that phone, but it's a habit, you do it anyway.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a question for Jennifer. How do you know how to serve people? Are you asking specific questions to know that they have a need? Like, how are you getting to that point?
Well, I'm really trying to take it all face to face as much as possible because I have spent years trying to work my business just having conversations over Facebook Messenger, and so much is lost in that. And so really just trying to go face to face over Zoom coffee dates. I don't even have to ask leading questions. I mean, sometimes I will if they're not giving me anything, but people want, people want to complain. They want to be heard, and just showing interest in what's going on in their life usually is enough to have the problem solved. And it might even be something like, if I haven't had anything, like maybe we're talking about something that's going on with my family, and I say it's a big reason why I do what I do. And when they ask me what I do, I tell them I help families get healthy. That starts a conversation on their side. I don't really go into a lot of detail there, but then they start saying, you know what, I saw your post the other day about cholesterol, and I've really been having cholesterol issues. Or this other one just on Friday, oh, you know what, my husband's having all kinds of cholesterol issues, and I've had no energy whatsoever. And that I just have like 7 things right there that are problems that I can say, well, you told me that you've got this, this, and this. Would you be open to learning a little bit more about what I do to see if it would help? And honestly, if you get on a conversation with people, they'll tell you everything.
Yeah.
But not over Facebook Messenger.
That's true. That's true. And right now, like you said, people want to be heard. They don't have a lot of people to talk to, which is also what Kristen Bosse said. I really love the idea of the coffee dates. I don't know why I haven't done it yet. Anybody like that? I'm like, why? She talked about it like a week ago. Why haven't I set up the coffee dates? I don't know. So has anybody set up the coffee dates? Oh yeah, Doug did. Good job, honey.
I will also say it gets easier. The first few are not that easy and they feel very awkward.
Yeah.
But when you work on your mindset and you remember you're coming at a place of love, you're not necessarily assuming you're going to make this person a teammate or a customer, but you come at it from love and you just want to get caught up with them, then you'd be surprised what happens when you come with some confidence as well.
Right. So if we go on with no agenda, just really trying to connect, then that's probably a lot easier to line those up.
And I will make sure someone knows what I do, you know? So because that can create conversation as well. Even if they haven't specifically told me any problems, I will make sure they know what I do.
Well, when you're catching up with somebody, I noticed this right away. They want to know, everybody wants to know, like, so how you doing in the age of COVID? Well, I mean, that opens it up right there to talk about what you're excited about. I mean, it's kind of exciting. Some people are struggling, others are, I mean, we're excited. People need what we have and they're more interested than ever. So
Janie Hawkins says, I need to learn how to set up Zoom to set up the coffee date.
what do you mean set up Zoom? Okay, so
Like get your free Zoom?
okay, so with Zoom, all you have to do is, you know how you log into Zoom and then you come here? If you were to log into Zoom and then say start a new meeting, that would be the meeting. The only issue would be that the phone number would be kind of random, but then you could just invite them and text them right then. With a free version of Zoom, you're only going to get 30 minutes. Then it says, hey, you only have 10 minutes left, which, to tell you the truth, I used to enjoy that. When I first started doing this full time, I had the free version and it used to make the presentations 30 minutes. I was doing a lot of Zoom presentations and I didn't want to be embarrassed by it popping up. So I try to get done by like 28 minutes. So
yeah, so you just go to Zoom and you order your own Zoom and somehow you could pick, I think, your own number too.
Yeah,
so you have to
this-
just go on Zoom
Okay.
and set it up. And use a video.
And
Oh.
so one thing also, if you struggle with technology, is to always just remember you can go to Google and if you literally search Zoom create dedicated phone number or something like that, Zoom ID consistent or something like that, where it's always the same number like we have, then the answer will come up.
Mhm. That's for
Okay.
any technology. You just go on Google. So before we go today, I don't know what time it is. Let's talk about who did plan their week this week. Jennifer's gonna be in the hot seat, I'm sure. But who else planned their week this week? And they know exactly what they're going to invite to and who they're going to talk to this week or what they're focusing on. Can you guys share how you did it? Tony, go ahead.
Okay, so I have the blitzes programmed on my calendar as a recurring event so that I'll get on them each morning.
Okay.
And then from the post that you put in Team Transformers with all the different events that are happening this week. Also, what I'm really having great momentum with is the Healthy Cooking 101 group. So I've been focused on that. I'm inviting to Tim Blank tomorrow night, as well as a salad in a jar that Deborah and I are doing tomorrow night. So yeah. And by the time that I cycle through, you know, the great thing about the Healthy Cooking group, it's such a value add. And so, you know, by the time that I cycle through and say, hey, did you look at the getting ready for next week, you know, the next Sunday, and just sprinkling in conversation and making it about them, right? So like I've got one person that keeps coming back at me with, oh, I'm too busy, I'm too busy, I'm too busy. I really want to check it out. And I just keep loving on them because you taught me you just keep loving on people. And so I just keep loving on her, and she's like, I've been working so much. And I'm like, well, where are you working nowadays? And she's a travel agent and working at Target. So, you know, like Target's ramping up. So I just like have that conversation with her, right? Then they don't want to turn and run away because you're just coming at them about Juice Plus, right? Because you're still engaging them as your friend and a human being, and not just, you know, being in sales mode.
Absolutely. Thank you. That's awesome. Okay, who else has a favorite event that they're really working on this week?
Jennifer Crispin says the Tower Garden events.
So you're doing 10 blank and the Saturday. So Tuesday, Saturday, that's a good one way or the other, right? Good. So
I like that.
Saturday's Lunch and Learn is a Tower Garden event. So if you have a Tower Garden, make sure you are sitting in front of it and you can talk if we call on you. That'd be great.
So, you know, I want to point out, isn't it interesting, like for Jennifer, for her to make this week, like Tuesday's Tower Garden event, Saturday's a Tower Garden event. Like she knows that's what she's inviting for. It just gives her so much like purpose and almost
Clarity.
like moment, the clarity. Like, what am I doing? I know what I'm doing. I'm inviting to these events. But if you don't do that and you're just like, oh, I don't know what to invite to, and God forbid you would just go to the pinned post and look at all the posters, you're just going to turn your computer off. It's too many. So the reason all those are in there is because you pick the ones that resonate with you, you get excited about, and make it your business. It's our business to get people to that event. Jennifer's going to have people at those events, and they're going to order Tower Gardens because she's being intentional with her week.
True. Yeah. So, and some of them conflict. I did not mean to do that.
That's okay.
Yeah. I stuck mine right in there on a Thursday when there's two others on the Thursday. So yeah, you got to pick. And it's good if you pick in advance and just say, okay, those days leading up to whatever the event is. Okay, who else? Give us some
I'm
ideas.
trying to take advantage of most of these events because I feel like I have people that each event targets different groups of people in their interests. So like Wendy Brewer's Holiday Makeover, I think is pretty genius for this time of year.
Yeah.
So I'll be inviting for that. I already invited a few people to Tim Blank's Tower Garden event tomorrow. And I'll also be inviting to the Tower Garden event on Saturday that you guys are hosting. And then also the Salad in a Jar. So I already had my list. I was making like that's today's
How do you keep
to-do
that all
list.
organized?
And I have it by time frame of things I would be doing, but yeah.
So you have different columns for each event of who you invite?
No, well, not right now. This is just the people I'm inviting to different things or things I'm doing throughout the day. So I had it by time. So like 9:30, I knew I was calling Juice Plus for a customer, 10 o'clock customer care. So I listed all the customers I was going to reach out to, 10:15 follow up, all the people I was following up with, 10:30 invite to like the Lunch and Learn, the call tonight for the team, Carrie Daigle's call.
Yeah.
And reaching out to a couple people that I need to. So I just broke things down kind of by the DMO almost and the people I was going to contact.
There we go.
Jam on it.
See
Very
that?
good.
That's beast mode. I mean, like
PM.
you look. Oh my gosh!
That's terrible.
You did it again.
I apologize.
New
It doesn't take
QNMD,
much.
Michelle Fletcher.
Go,
it's,
Michelle.
it's not just happening
Beast.
by
We'll
accident.
just say beast.
Excellent.
Wonderful. Sorry, I just get that way. Okay. Who
BM.
else?
BM?
Yeah, it's terrible.
I'll go ahead really quick. Last night, Sharon, I saw you on the line doing that planning session. So that was really helpful. I used to do that a long time ago, and I just think it is so helpful on a Sunday evening to take a half an hour and try to jot down, because it is overwhelming with all these events. So I had to like look at everything and pick stuff out. And so this is what I did last night, just kind of like organizing
Nice.
what is coming up that I was interested in. And so Tim Blank is for Tuesday evening. And then same as Michelle, also with the Wednesday holiday recipe makeover, and then the salad in a jar in an evening, and then you on Thursday night. I work weekends, and so unfortunately I'm not able to check out your one on Saturday. I'm sure it'll be fabulous, but that's what I'm going for right now. And does Neilani still do things every Friday night? I'm not sure if that is like an every Friday night thing, but I was maybe thinking about that.
Oh, night would be middle of the night for him.
No, Neilani. I thought she did something Friday nights, like Wednesdays and Fridays or something, but
Not sure.
yeah, I'm not
He's
sure.
been backing off some of those.
So who else feels like they've planned their week? Kind of. Or planned for a couple of events? Who else? Anybody else? Like salad in a jar? I mean, I think that's a easy one, right? Just post that. I think that would be a good post today. Say who loves these things or the idea of it. Put them in the Wednesday night event. Michelle, can you tell us how you're inviting to Tim Blank? What are you saying?
Oh, the one invite I did so far was someone who's a recent purchaser of the Tower Garden. So just letting them know that this is a person who created the Tower Garden, and I like the subject of how to grow in your Tower Garden because she's having some struggles. So I think it's really good to hear from the horse's mouth, this information, not just from me, but from the person who created it. So that's kind of my ammo with that one.
You know what would be good also, since you mentioned that, is to go on the virtual office and grab all your Tower Garden customers and email them that event or the Saturday one that they might learn something, or they could bring somebody onto it. So that's great that you're inviting a customer. You can also think about schools, or restaurants, whoever you may have talked to about the Tower Garden before. Okay, well, I hope this was helpful today, you guys. Try to fill out your bingo form. I think we were maybe going to mention that. I think some of them are a little harder than others, so do your best. There's some ways that are actually easier to get a bingo. Has anybody got? It's very helpful. Has anybody got a bingo yet? In the bingo form. Almost. Awesome. Go, girl.
Don't forget about bingo. There's money.
Oh, Kristen, are you close? Okay, this really does have a lot of the business. Good.
I like
That's
the way
exciting.
Hetrick, if you look at the bingo that's in Team Transformers, Melissa Hetrick puts the date on each the bingo
Oh, I didn't
squares.
see what she did.
Yeah, that way it's
Great.
kind of like she knows when.
Awesome.
Excellent. Well, it's great to talk to you guys. We're finishing up a few minutes early today, but it feels right.
Yeah. Oh, I wasn't looking at the time. Sorry, guys.
I'm gonna go eat some lettuce that was freshly picked by Tropical Storm. What was her name? Ida.
Etta?
Etta. ETA.
Yeah. All right, guys.
All right, you guys have a great day. We'll see you guys
safe.
soon.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Have a
Thank
good day.
you.
Good
Thank
Monday.
you.
Bye, Joy.
Are we meeting with
Yeah.
somebody? Okay, cool. With Sony.
Bye, Kristen. Kristen.
I lost my
Bye,
audio.
guys.
Hi, Nicole. Come see us, Nicole.
Have a good day. Stay dry.
Sony.
I got flooding.
Oh, we got
No, what city?
down by
Southeast Fort Lauderdale.
Oh, that's right. I wondered. I was gonna
Old
ask
building.
too. Sandy's in that little neighborhood just off of 95.
Yeah, I'm about 2 miles due east of Sandy.
Okay.
What
But
about
I had water down my living room wall, and
Oh,
the extra bedroom is soggy.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh my goodness. Wonderful.
So much fun.
oh gosh.
Oh boy.
Sorry, Christine.
Thank you.
Bummer.
So with I just, I'm concerned about because we have a flat roof with gravel, and I just talked to the roofer, and he said there's nothing they can do until it dries out, which of course is understandable, but I hope that nothing else happens before that.
Yeah.
Right.
because it's going to rain for the next, 3-4 days still foreseeably. Looks pretty good out there,
Yeah,
Yeah.
but windy. I can see your hair blowing in the wind.
My hair-
we haven't had rain. I haven't seen rain yet today.